Steph Curry has just led his Golden State Warriors team to a historic first season under head coach Steve Kerr. In the brutal Western Conference, Golden State was the cream of the crop, and the main reason for their place atop the standings was Steph Curry. Never before had we seen a lead guard with such extraordinary shooting skill off the dribble. The pressure he puts on a defense the second he steps into the front court makes the game much easier for his teammates. To illustrate this point, let's take a peek at some of his on-off numbers. You can see right off the bat that both the offense and defense improve dramatically when he's out there doing his thing. Their net rating is actually a little bit on the negative side when he comes out, but when he's in the game, it's a blowout every time. The fact that he sat out 20 fourth quarters gives you an idea of just how many lopsided games they played in, costing him a chance at even higher stats. Another interesting item is the amount of threes that happen when he's on versus off. The difference is startling, especially when you compare it to other players on high-volume three-point shooting teams like James Harden and Chris Paul. Next, let's look at how Steph Curry attacked out of the offense. His primary method was the pick and roll high out top. Of course, the Warriors loved to get him a drag screen in semi-transition where he was absolutely lethal, but they'd also run straight pick and rolls with him out top and let him destroy the defense with his individual brilliance. Either the defender went under the screen and he'd bury three after three after three, or he would attack the paint where he was just as deadly, improving his finishing game with all sorts of high degree of difficulty shots that got the crowd on their feet. Transition was his next most used category, and among point guards, he trailed only Chris Paul in points per possession. This is where we get to see all of his long-range bombing off the bounce goodness, and he always had the knack for extending small leads to much bigger blowouts with a few of these backbreakers in every game. Then you factor in his passing. Minimum 60 games played, he was 6th overall in points created by assists, and also finished 6th in assists for three-point shots. All the extra points he generates by his league-leading number of three-point field goals plus his assists for threes give the Warriors a huge advantage over any opponent they face. Diving into the metrics that Arturo Galletti built, we see that Harden was number 1, LeBron James number 2, and Steph Curry 3rd. Part of what penalized Curry was all those fourth quarters he didn't play in. His Warriors team was consistently better than anyone else's team, and he was the main reason for this, yet his numbers ended up suffering a bit because of their historical dominance. While you can still argue that Harden did more with less, dragging his team to the second seed, Curry was better more consistently on a game-by-game basis. To further this point, let's look at Arturo's best ball rating, which rewards players points for being the best, second best, and third best player for each game, and Curry was clearly the winner in this category. So in the end, the voters got it right, as Curry should be rewarded, not penalized, for leading such a great team to an incredible season that has provided some amazing highlights, from breaking the record for threes in a season to single-handedly winning Game 3 versus the Pelicans, and no doubt will have even more memorable plays as this postseason goes forward. This year, there was no shame in coming in second, and I know we all win for the next 10 years of Curry versus Harden versus Anthony Davis versus Kevin Durant, and so on.